today. I've got some cats that probably will join us. Hopefully I'm not bothering my neighbors. Alright, so this week the moon is going to be waning. As I'm recording this right now, it's a full moon, so this is the peak. We're going to be moving away from the peak, so just kind of, that's how you think of it, like a hill. We're standing at the top of the hill today, and then we're going to be over and kind of moving away from the peak of the hill for the next 2 weeks. So when the moon is waning, you can do these practices no matter what the moon is doing. I think the universe gives us what we need right when we need it, so don't worry if the moon isn't waning. Good practices for the waning moon are eliminatory practices. This is the time to reduce your consumption all the way around, so social media consumption, food. We're not saying you need to stop eating or anything like that, but giving your body little breaks to digest. We do carry a lot of stuff in our colon, and when we are constantly adding more to that, then it gets backed up and things there's a lot of little folds. So when we give our digestive system a break, it can kind of clean out a little bit better. And that's what this time of the month is for getting rid of what we don't need, letting go of what we've been holding on to, practicing surrender, eliminating, detoxing. Those are the kind of that's just ideal for this time of the month. So we are going to start standing up. So let's find a nice standing position. After the full moon, there's still kind of like a buzz, a lot of energy, so we're just gonna bounce a little bit. Gonna soft knees, maybe your feet lift off the ground a little bit, maybe they don't. Shake your arms out, shake them out above your head, shake them out down low. Then close your eyes and just kind of start to feel the rhythm of the bouncing. We look to nature. Animals in nature will shake their emotions off, literally. Like if an antelope escapes a lion, that antelope is going to be shaken to get all that anxiety, all that stress, all that extra energy off. So we're just kind of shaking off some of the residual full moon. Get it out. And again, with eyes closed, slowly start to stand still, reducing your shakes, reducing your bounces. Now, open up your eyes, look down at your feet. Make sure your feet fall right below your hip bones. Pull your kneecaps up into your thighs so your thighs are engaged. And then bring your ears over your shoulders, over your hips. Nice tall posture. Palms face forward. Focus on your core. Pull belly button in and up. Low ribs squeeze down together. Suddenly this standing position gets to feel a little bit taxing. Gets to feel a little bit exerting. And that's what we're gonna do. So close to the moon, we're gonna burn a little bit to burn that extra energy, burn that extra steam, however you like to think of it. We're gonna just burn it right out. So keep engaging, keep squeezing. Now let things relax, let your knees relax, your thighs, your core. Notice if you feel any heat from the action. Let's take a couple twists. Just let your arms move around your body, wrap around. And then pitch yourself on the back a little bit. Say good morning to your kidneys. Good afternoon, good evening. Come back towards center, and we're just gonna tap ourselves a little bit. We'll start at the top of the head. You can use like the flat part of your fingers. You can use your fingertips. You can use your palms, whatever. We're going to start to go down our forehead, the cheeks, to the neck. Just tapping, making contact with your body, your chest. And go down one arm. And down the other arm. Connect with the sensation of your body touching your body. Both hands back to your chest. Move around your pecs, your breast tissue a couple times, a couple circles. Waking up our energy systems, our lymphatic system, our immune system. All right, then make your way down to your belly, your hip bones, go around to your backside, your low back, your buns, down your legs, all the sides, front, side, inside, back side, go all the way down to your feet, your calves, and then bring it back up to the top. Back to your arms. Back up your chest, your neck, your cheeks, temples, forehead, all the way to the back to the top part of your head. And then relax your arms down, close your eyes, good posture, and just notice what you feel. How you feel kind of alive after shaking, jumping, tapping. Feels good to feel the life in your body. Connect our hands together in front of our chest, in front of our heart. Focus your eyes over your fingertips. Check back in with your posture. We want to be tall and strong. You can engage your muscles all over to bring a little bit of exertion to this moment, or you can just stand easy. We're going to move through some sun A's and sun B's to move and to feel warmth in our body. And we're going to come down to the floor and do some stretches. So from wherever you are, drop your arms down by your sides, palms face forward. Let's step our feet in so our big toes touch. We have a little bit of space between our heels. We'll inhale to Utkatasana. We're going to do an Utkatasana Sun A variation today. Let's bring our chest forward towards our thighs. Move your hands back towards the wall behind you, and then inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a high plank. We'll either exhale and lower to the ground, or we'll inhale or exhale and move back to down dog. You can flow or go. Any of the flows that we make, you can modify to suit your needs for the day. Let's take a couple of pedals with our feet, pressing one heel down to the ground at a time. So the week, June 5th, starts off with some practicality, especially around our emotional body. Parts of the body that this are related to are the knees and the bones and the structures within your body, like the hard parts. So just contemplate practicality for a moment. Contemplate how it relates to your emotional body. And then let's find stillness here in down dog. Press your heels down, press your palms down. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Walk or step your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Extended mountain pose, breathe in, reach up for the ceiling. Exhale, palms down by your sides. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. High plank, take your feet back. Flow or go to downward facing dog, your choice. You listen to each moment. Each time you have the opportunity, make the decision again. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Step or hop to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain pose. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale your hands down by your sides. Inhale, Utkatasana, bend your knees. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Move your body to a plank and find your down dog from there, flowing or just going straight back. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Step or jump forward to your hands. Last sun A. Halfway lift, breathe in. Forward fold, breathe out. Extended mountain pose. Inhale, tall reach. Exhale, hands down by your side. Utkatasana, breathe in, go low, low, low. And then exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. High plank to downward facing dog. Your choice on how you get there. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. And step or hop up to your hands. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Extended mountain pose. Exhale, palms down by your sides. And then bring your hands back to heart center. Palms connect, fingertips connect, eyes focused over your fingers. Notice what you feel in your body after some movements. Notice the bones in your body, the structures, the hard parts, the things that hold you up, your foundation. And just strengthen the connection by just thinking about them. Keep your hands connected and then sit down low into an Utkatasana. So we're going to strengthen the knees with these chair poses today. And I feel like strong knees leads to strong trust in yourself and in your actions and in your foundation. If we don't have the foundation, then we kind of wibble wobble around. Yes, our knees give us flexibility, allow us to move forward, and we can take all kinds of fancy steps. But without the structure, we would just be a puddle of goo. So think about strengthening your knees. Think about strengthening your trust in your foundation, in your structures, in your systems that you have in place. And know that you can let go of any of them at any moment that you don't need anymore. Sometimes we build things up and they serve a great purpose for a window of time. And then we hold on to the structure because it's a habit or it feels good, it feels comfortable. But we don't need to keep the same structures and systems with us all the time. Let's bring our weight into our toes and lift your heels up off of the ground. Slow burn. We're gonna move through it. This helps us to practice surrender, which is a beautiful, beautiful theme for the waning moon. Set your heels back down on the ground. Bring your hands to your hips. And let's take our left foot back. We're gonna find a warrior two. So warrior two, we want our front heel to line up with the arch of our back foot. And take our arms forward and back. We're gonna stack our shoulders over our hips. Then flip your front hand up to the ceiling, reverse your warrior. Reach your fingertips up and back. Breathe through the burn. Use it as an opportunity to practice trusting your foundation. You can do it. Let's straighten out the front leg. 2 long legs, 2 long arms. From here, move into a triangle pose. Bring your right hand down to your right shin. Take your left hand up to the ceiling. Look up towards your left thumb. up to standing. So we keep our long legs and our long arms. I'm going to turn our toes so they all point the same way, off to the left side of the mat. And we're going to take warrior two over our left knee. So we'll point our left toes to the back of the mat. Bend down into that front knee of the left leg. Notice your structure, shoulders over hips. We want strong foundation in our body so we can imitate that in other parts of our life. Flip your front palm up to the ceiling, reverse your warrior. Straighten out your front leg. Two long arms, two long legs. And then move into your triangle pose. Bring your left hand down to your shin. Take your right hand up to the ceiling. Look up towards your right thumb. Now, even though we're stretching, we're still balancing. We still have to engage a little bit here. So squeeze in through your belly, your low belly, your upper belly by hugging your rib cage together in the front. Back up to a tall spine, hands to hips, toes point all to the left side. Now let's interlace our hands down by our tailbone. Inhale, press your knuckles down to the ground, and then exhale, forward fold. Relax your head from your neck. But engage your leg muscles. We want to be active, we want to be squeezing, we want to be burning some of this excess full moon energy. Now let's bring our body back up so our spine is tall, and hands back to hips. Pivot your feet so they point forward. You're gonna bring your hands to your heart and step right back up into your chair pose. Building strength in our knees and our structure, our bones, our foundation. Hold steady, hold your focus. Sometimes when we meet discomfort, we prefer to run away or do whatever we can to organize the outside so it feels better on the inside. But the new moon, the waning moon, what we're going to be doing the next 2 weeks asks us to surrender to the discomfort, to know that it's a temporary feeling. You don't need to change anything on the outside in order to feel better on the inside. You can just feel better on the inside by letting go. Let's lift the heels up off of the ground so they stack up on your toes. Try to sit a little bit lower in your chair, going for that slow, low burn. And drop your heels to the mat, hands to hips. Let's take our right foot back. Sorry, pip squeak. We're gonna find our warrior two with our left leg in the front now. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. Find your bones, use them to help you stand up. Flip your front hand up, reverse your warrior. Arch your pose, lengthen out your front leg. And then let's come into a triangle pose. Left hand finds the floor or your shin. Right hand looks up to the ceiling. Come back up to standing. Bring your hands to your hips, turn your feet so your toes all point to the right. We're gonna do our warrior two over our right leg again. So point your right toes backward. Bend into your right knee, go down low. Stretch your arms forward and back. Pull your shoulder blades together towards your spine. And as your shoulder blades wrap around behind you, your low ribs wrap around in front of you. Flip your right hand up, reverse your warrior. Find an archer pose, long legs. And then triangle pose. Bring your right hand down, take your left hand up, and look up towards your lifted fingers. Come back up to standing. Turn your toes so they all point to the right. Interlace your hands down by your tailbone. Inhale, lift your chest up. And exhale to fold your way forward. Find engagement as well as release in your body. We want strong legs. We want to pull in our belly button even as we're folding forward. Release your hands down, come up tall, reach your hands up to the ceiling. And then exhale, hands to hips. Pivot your toes to point forward and then step back into your chair pose. Hands to heart. Sit down nice and low. And then on your inhale, stand up tall. Separate your feet so they're hips distance or wider, and then fold. We'll find a rag doll. So grab onto your elbows. Release your head forward, straighten out your legs as much as you can. We still want them to be active. Keep squeezing your thighs, keep zipping your knees up towards your thighs. After that, dose of practicality in the beginning of the week. By midweek, we're gonna move more towards intellect, thought, theory, concept, ideas. It's gonna be more mental. I kind of think the difference between practicality and intellect is, like, practicality is more like common sense. It's tangible, it's measurable, it's quantifiable. We can see results with practicality. We can count, we can measure. Intellect is just more like brainstorming. It's more working through theories, through concepts, through ideas. Release your hands down towards the ground. Walk your feet in together. Take a halfway lift with an inhale. And an exhale folds you forward. Come back up tall. Reach up for the ceiling. And then bring your arms down by your sides. Bend your elbows. Point your hands forward. Begin to move opposite knee up to opposite hand. Move kind of slow. We don't want to use momentum here, but we want to be deliberate. We want to be calculated with what we're doing. Sometimes when our emotional body is met with that really intellectual energy, we think about our feelings more than we feel them. We can kind of spiral around like a tornado around an idea that's linked to what we're feeling. So by crossing the body, making contact right hand to left knee, left hand to right knee, we're helping to balance the hemispheres of the brain. That can help to balance that emotionality and then the more intellectual side, the more rational side. Also helps us with balance, which we're gonna do next. So let's stand still. Plant your feet down under your hip bones, hands to hips. And then we're just gonna raise our right leg. So hopefully it's parallel with the ground. And we'll set it back down. And do that with the left leg. And just alternate sides. We wanna move slow. Again, so we're being really deliberate. We're not flinging. We're not using momentum. Try to keep your hips square. My one hip wants to lift up every time. So if you can't bring your leg to parallel, it's better to have your hips parallel than your leg parallel. Let's do one more. This is another good one for the knees, for the shins, for the hip flexors. This is going to help to strengthen foundation, to strengthen trust, which is soothing for your nervous system. So if we do get fixated on thoughts linked to emotions, we're better equipped to self-regulate. And we spend less time spiraling, and we spend more time observing. Let's do one more on each side. Good. Plant your feet. Nice work. Take a breath in. Reach your hands up high. Take a breath out. Fold your body forward. Halfway lift. Breathe in. Move back to plank. And downward facing dog from there. From our down dog, let's just come into a child's pose for a moment. If you put your knees wide on the mat, you'll feel this more in your hips. If you put your knees close together, you'll feel it more in your low back. So choose according to you today. When we allow ourselves to get worked up by emotions and spiral around in our thoughts, swirling around, maybe fixating, maybe, ruminating, I feel like is another good word. That affects our nervous system, which then affects our cardiovascular system. Everything is connected. It's inseparably connected. And that's why it's so important to work with these themes: practicality, intellect, emotion, and energy, action. If we can work with those elements, notice the themes in our lives and in ourselves and our behaviors, we can help ourselves to find a more centered position. Move our body back up to hands and knees. Walk your knees so they fall below your hip bones. And then take some C curves with your spine. Little wiggles from side to side. Notice the spaces between your ribs. The space between your ribs and your pelvis. All those structures and the spaces that lie in between, because we need both. Bring your body back to neutral, and then find your seat. Let's bring our seat down, our hips down, bring your legs out in front of you, cross your legs so you feel comfortably seated, and then just sit up tall. Take a moment. Just close your eyes and see what there is to feel inside of you. Connect with practical structure. Connect with thought theory concept. And then allow all of that to kind of flow back to feeling, to emotion. emotional or moved by what we're feeling. And the end of the week next week is looking like we should be able to connect to our feeling body a little bit more. But when we feel something that's so big or so overwhelming that we have to do something about it. We can see that in ourselves on our practice on our mat, in our chair pose, and our legs are talking to us. We can choose to react, get ourselves out of that situation, or we can choose to just tell yourself, this is a lie, I can do it. I can do it. I'm going to surrender, I'm going to be okay, even though I'm not okay in this moment. And I'm going to trust that in another moment, I'll have an opportunity to maybe not feel so intensely. It's such a strong habit to shy away from the things that make us uncomfortable. But there lies so much power. There lies so much transformation. Take the legs out long, stretch them out in front of you. And let's take a breath in, reach your hands up high, up. And then as you exhale, slowly bring your spine forward. Either put your hands on your shins or on your feet or on your knees. Make contact with your legs somehow. And take a couple fingers and just press into that muscle that is right next to your shin bone, closer to the outside part, not the inside. Press in as much or as little as you like. And then find stillness. Let your arms relax. Roll your spine back up tall. And bring your body down to the ground. Let's bring our spine to the floor, our shoulders to the floor, head to the floor. And then we're going to lift our feet up to the ceiling. Take some movement, points and flexes. Let's start there. Points and flexes with your feet. So this week the moon is moving through Capricorn, Earth, practicality, and then Aquarius, air, intellect, and then Pisces, which is water, emotion, feeling, sensitivity. Capricorn rules our knees, our bones. Aquarius rules our shins and our nervous system. And Pisces rules our feet and our lymphatic system. Now take some rotations with your feet, some circles with your ankles. There's so many lymphatic release points that lie in the bottom of your feet. So just wiggle them around, make some room. Also, as we have our feet up above our head, this is good for our lymphatic system as well. Lymphatic system is waste removal. This is one of the stars of the season of the waning moon. The lymphatic system carries out all of our waste. So as you're moving your feet, maybe they're starting to feel sore or tired, you can let them relax, but keep your legs long towards the ceiling. If there's any emotions at any point in the week that you would like to imagine sending to your lymphatic system to be cleansed and transmuted into something good, and you can imagine that. Our brain doesn't always know the difference between imaginings and reality. So it could provide some relief in a moment where you feel weak or you feel unsupported, you feel overwhelmed or uncomfortable. We can draw on our practicality and our intellect to say, okay, I'm feeling something. I know that it's temporary. I know I'm not going to hide or run or do anything to adjust it. And then that's when we let our heart soften. That's when we let ourselves feel whatever it is that we're feeling. And we just trust that it's gonna move through. Bring your knees down towards your chest. Wrap your arms around your shins. Give yourself a squeeze. Lift your nose up towards your knees. And then release head and shoulders down. Take your legs out long on your mat. Bring a hand to your heart and a hand to your belly. And let your whole body soften. All your bones, all your muscles, all your systems and organs. And remember the importance of each one, the value in each one. How they're all linked together, they do a job together, and all the parts are needed. Just like we need our rib cage and our stomach and our liver, we need practicality, intellect, emotion, and action. We need everything. We need it all. Just at different points in time. Take your arms up over your head. With an inhale, stretch out as long as you can. With an exhale, relax your arms, your muscles. Let's do one more big reach. And exhale, relax. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Cross your legs at your ankles. Rock your body up to a seat. And then sit up nice and tall. Close your eyes. Notice your bones, your structure. Notice the thoughts, your intellect, your ideas. And then notice your heart and your feeling body. And let's call in the feeling of gratitude. Where do you feel it? Do you feel it in your belly? Do you feel it in your heart? Do you feel it in your throat? Where does it land? If you have a hard time feeling it, think about someone or something that moves you. Think about your mom. Think about your dad. Think about your siblings, your grandma, whoever it was that was important to you in your foundational years. Think about the gratitude that you have for them. Even if they didn't do you any good then, or so it felt, they brought you here. And hopefully you can feel the value in their role in your life. Connect hands together at heart center. All my love and all my gratitude. Namaste. I hope you feel great. I hope you have a wonderful week. Whether you're practicing June 5th through 11th or you're practicing willy-nilly, I just hope that this was exactly what you needed. Remember your practicality, your structure, your intellect, this realm, and then your feelings.